This is 1,000 Trails Natchez Trace. There is an 11-foot bridge that will destroy a lot of RVs.
We're in Tennessee, we're gonna do an escape room.
So the 1,000 Trails Natchez Trace has a very controversial thing, which is talked about by many. You gotta make sure you know this detail. This is super important, and that is how you arrive at the park, because there is an 11-foot bridge that will destroy a lot of RVs. Here it is. So what this is up here, this is the Natchez Trace Parkway. This is a long, basically highway that's not open to commercial. It's only open to everyday drivers and recreational vehicles. So you can take your RV across the top, but you don't want to take the exit, which this is less than a mile from the entrance of the park. And all navigation tends to take you down this parkway, and it loops here through the trees and comes out right here, then forcing you to go under the bridge. And the gate to the 1,000 Trails is literally just on the other side. You have to know about this, because if you are taller than 11 feet tall, you are going to wind up adding to the marks on this bridge. Can you see it? I'm gonna get closer. There's a big truck right now. They know better. They're from the area. So look at the damage to the bridge. I mean, all 4 beams have all taken damage from people that have come through here, most likely with their RVs, because there shouldn't be any commercial traffic whatsoever. So that Enterprise truck, he shouldn't have been driving on there anyway, because he's a commercial truck. And people have done just as much damage from this side as well. Now, I was aware of the issue, and so I was kind of pre-scouting it out and saw that there is a road right here. This turns to the north. Nice creek right there. I called the ranger station, and they said, no, you cannot come from the north, because you'll wind up going under a tunnel or under a bridge and be in just as much trouble. They said you have to come from the south. You take Highway 240 up to Highway 241, and that will bring you right here, and it'll bring you out right by the park. So I'd say it added about an extra 25 miles to my drive when I arrived here, but obviously 25 extra miles over destroying your RV is a big deal. But I did drive this road. It's a bit windy and twisty, but it is an option. If you want to scout that one out and try that out, that is Napier Road. I think that would work. I'm probably just going to take 241 to the south when I leave out of here, even though I need to go to the north. Why risk it? Let's have a less stressful day. All right, back to the tour of the 1,000 Trails Natchez Trace. Make sure you know your route coming in here. It is very important. We spent a couple of weeks at the 1,000 Trails Natchez Trace in Tennessee, and wanted to share this place with you. This park is absolutely ginormous. This is like 5 separate campgrounds all rolled into one. I would say it was over 1.5 miles from the front area all the way to the back, maybe even a little bit more. But let's drive around and take a look at this 1,000 Trails campground. So when you pull in to check in here, you're gonna pull into the right lane. As you can see, they got RV painted there on the ground. So that way anybody that needs to come in and get around you can pull up on the left and get to put in their code to get to the gate. They change the code here every Monday, And they do not know them in advance, so you will have to come back up here on Monday. Like, guess what? Today's Monday, so I need to go in and get the code myself. So can you see the 1,000 Trails sign up there? Well, right here is the trading post. This is a convenience store and cafe. They actually grill burgers, breakfast. I think they stop about 2 or 3 o'clock making food, and then they close about 4 o'clock. And they do sell propane up here. But what's cool is this is open to the area. So anybody that lives in this area that needs something, they can stop on in here and shop. But it's also open to the inside on the other side of the fence, to the inside of the 1,000 Trails Park. Now, one of the things, the reason I'm here right now is looking for a package. This is a unique 1,000 Trails for various reasons. One of them being the charge per package to pick them up is $2 per package. If you've been to a lot of 1,000 Trails, you probably know that most of them charge $5 per package. So it's kind of nice. It's a little bit less. The other interesting thing is that they will accept USPS here. Most 1,000 Trails will refuse that. So, but the odd thing is that if it's delivered by FedEx or USPS or the Amazon guy, it goes inside the office, the ranger station. If it comes from UPS, it'll be here at the trading post. So I've been trying to track down this package and just now learned all about that. All right, let's get back to our tour of the park. Pretty much right up here in the front, there's the ranger station. There's the trading post, which, by the way, the trading post has ice if you need ice. We have got this kind of community room right here. There is actually a number of different places to gather. Oh, this one's called Pavilion. I've not been inside of here. I think the last time I tried it was locked. I don't know if this is something where you got to check it out in order to get access. Last time there was tables and chairs set up, and now looking through the windows, I think it's all put away. So, not sure what to expect here. Yeah, it's locked up. It's just a big room, has like a stage. But what's interesting about this park is there's a lot of that. There's not just one room like this. So, and also our first day we were here, there was a massive gathering of people out here having a huge picnic. And I think that they had like rented the space. So another point of interest would be the swimming pool. This swimming pool is obviously brand new. It's been actively getting worked on. The plan is for it to be open by Memorial Day weekend 2025. So since we've been here, we've seen a lot of work done on this. We've seen the big cement trucks with the huge orange cranes coming in and pouring all that cement in the appropriate place that they want it to go. And I believe they will have a kiddie pool as well. So they were denied the access for a splash pad. So it's like they put in for it, they requested it, and they were only given a certain amount. So that's where the pool is, right here with the pavilion. Not sure if this is all going to work in conjunction with each other. So then right over here, we've got basketball court. We also have some poles. It looks like you could do volleyball here if you like. And then this barn. This barn is like a picnic pavilion. I have seen this all lit up. It's got lights in here. It's got some lights outside. I don't know that I have ever seen this really utilized though. I think that they've just been over here kind of cleaning it and sweeping it. So it's an opportunity of something to use. What struck me as interesting was that there's stairs over here in the corner and that they weren't closed off. Most of the time I've been in 1,000 Trails parks where this kind of stuff is just shut down. But it's another gathering space with like a small stage. I don't know if they do dances up here or activities for the kids. Or maybe, judging by that floor, maybe they should be closing it down. Interesting. And then between the barn and the store right there, there is our first playground area. This is an older playground area, pretty simple, but it's got a gaga ball pit, which our girls typically love gaga ball. I'd say the biggest problem right now though is we didn't see any kids coming over here to play all that much. Look at that, nice classic teeter-totters, 4 teeter-totters. There are total, including this one, there are a total of 3 playground areas. And we'll cover all through this park, but can you see the RVs right over there? That's where we're at. That's the beach area. The map, it looks like there's about 10 spots there. A lot of them are shut down. There's 6 fully functional, 50 amp full hookup. That's a big deal because very limited 50 amp full hookups at this campground. We were very thankful when we pulled in Sunday about 1 o'clock, and there was, I think, 3 of them were open that day. Love the big, beautiful trees here. Now, as you're driving through this park, especially up here in the front, well, even in the camping loops, watch out for the directions you're going on the roads. There are one-way roads split up like a parkway all over the place here, and there are no signage that says wrong way or one way only or anything to that effect. You just kind of got to figure it out, you know, stick to the right side of the road kind of thing. But some of these parkways are really split, so I hope you are paying attention. And then when it comes to the camping loops, if you've got something like that where they're pretty narrow, what I tend to do is I look at the angles of the RV spots, and depending on which direction those are angled, kind of to tell me which way I should go. I was a little shocked that they didn't have any kind of one-way markings. Over past where the pool is, we've got mini golf course. They have balls and putters in the ranger station for you. There's a track over there, nice big oval track, which looks like it's about typical track size. So about 4 times around will be a mile. And we've got 2 tennis courts, which I thought was kind of odd, as so many people are playing pickleball these days. They haven't converted it yet. But I think that the money appropriated here has gone to new swimming pool, as well as some roads being repaired. Big, heavy emphasis on some roads. So this is kind of a main intersection here. You can turn left to go over to the beach. But pretty much all the other RV spots are down that way to the right. Let's swing through the tiny house village here real quick. So this is the tiny house village. There's a series of cabins, and these are built by the company Petite Retreats, which I've actually been seeing ads for Petite Retreats on my Facebook wall recently, which I thought was kind of interesting. So apparently, I guess somebody thinks I need to buy me one of these. And then right over here at the end is probably the largest cabin. I believe it's called the Lodge. This is where big families, big groups with lots of beds come to stay over there in the lodge. We'll check that out here in just a moment, but kind of wanted to show off this area around these themed tiny homes. This one's Sawyer, what's it called? Rock Aficionado, a petite retreat. I would have loved to have gotten a tour of these. Each of them's got an Adirondack chair, fire pit, above the ground barbecue, picnic table, and then they're all kind of linked together, like their own little community. And I love how they got a variety of different colors and everything. And then they're all linked with a group community fire pit right there. So I guess this would be kind of cool if you're here with a larger group and everybody wants to rent their own. What's this one called? Dala? Sustainable Traveler. Interesting. Yeah, each one of them is themed, and that goes beyond just these tiny homes. There is a very large amount of cabins at this park. In fact, there's one camping loop over there across the water. There's tent camping down at the bottom, and the whole rest of that camping loop is all cabins. They have different sizes, different amounts that they can sleep. And we actually used our getaway cabin here and got the cabin called Gone Fishing. It says Gone Fishing because it's themed, where it actually kind of has decorations inside. Now, I bring this up a lot of times because it can be difficult to know exactly which Thousand Trails has a getaway cabin so that you can use that benefit that may have come with the membership that you bought. Whereas we bought the adventure membership, we get 10 weeks per year for 10 years for free stay at a getaway cabin. But it's not always easy to find out where they are. Now, this park brings a bit of a problem, interesting situation. Whoever went into the system and gave each of the cabins a unique name, like Gone Fishing, or there's one dedicated to Nashville, where they named them, right? So you could pick it based on the name. Well, the Thousand Trails Reservations office doesn't see it that way. All they see is it's not a getaway cabin, but it is a getaway cabin. So I had to jump through some hoops and talk to your manager. They got me over to a specialist at the reservations department that was able to connect the dots and make things work. I had already talked to the ranger station here and knew for a fact that these were getaway cabins. They were just named individually. And so once I talked to this reservation specialist, you know, they were treating me like I was a bad person because I was arguing with them. But she called to the ranger station, she confirmed it, she got the reservation done. We used our free week for this year for the getaway cabin. And then what we do is my parents are staying here. So we utilize this location in Tennessee. We show up with our RV, my parents then come and stay, and so it gives us a place to hang out. And it's a nice cabin. Would you like to see it? Here it is. We have the ability to check out one of the getaway cabins. This is the cabin number 2, Gone Fishing. This is a getaway cabin that is at the Thousand Trails Natchez Trace. And we are utilizing this to give my parents a place to stay. Now this is one of the cabins that's free. You get one of these for free per year for a week as a part of your Thousand Trails membership. So this is a getaway cabin. Just kind of going through here showing you guys everything that this has to offer as a part of this. I think if you were to pay retail for this cabin for a week, I think it would probably cost you about $1,000. This one sleeps 6. It does not have central air, but it really feels and smells like a cabin. I mean, this actually reminds me of going on camping trips at a cabin with family when I was younger. I'm not complaining. So, microwave, oven, glass top stove, dining room table. We've even got a little ironing board and iron. It's interesting. It's like a little closet right there. But the bedrooms, I believe they've all got closets. Well, maybe that one doesn't. So let's check out the bathroom first. I was a little bummed because there's a little light over the shower there. It doesn't work. You want to turn that light on, the vent comes on. So it's a little noisy. Pretty nice looking vanity. You get all your linens with it. And we were pretty impressed. This brand new shower head has a very cool stream. Like, oh wow, look at that. We've already validated. We got nice hot water. Got a blow dryer there. And we're having a little bit of trouble. We got to talk to the front. Some of the buttons are not working on that remote control. Hello, welcome back.
There's a door in there.
Yeah, there's a door from the living room and from this bedroom to the porch right there. We've got a dresser, so there is not a closet in here. Okay, all right. But big dressers, nice big soft bed, decorative clock. They're made up pretty nice. Kaylin was walking around counting all the plugins here. How many plugins did you come up with?
16 or 17.
16. So neither bed is a king-size bed. And this is, you know, being the fishing cabin, they're decorated in a means of fishing. So there's a half bath here, which does have a closet. So one of them has a closet, but this bedroom has something cool and a bunk bed. So that's kind of a nice little add-on there. Since it's the grandparents that are coming, Kaylin and I were discussing, would she be willing to do a sleepover with the grandparents? And then the question would be, would the grandparents take the bedroom with no half bath and let the girls have this whole big space? We'll just have to see what they decide when they get here later. And don't forget where your fire extinguishers are. All right, let's go check this out. It looks like it should be screened in, but maybe somebody removed it? The door's all screened in. Got a couple of chairs, tables, picnic table. So that's the door to that bedroom right over there. You can just kind of walk on down to the water. Hey, look!
This one's got a deadbolt.
That one has a deadbolt? Interesting. Oh, and some wind chimes all tangled up. There's a fire pit right down there. Oh, and there's also 2 ceiling fans out here. You turned it on. Cool, good job. So with your various different levels of Thousand Trails memberships that you have, they come with a certain amount of these weekly free cabins. I think it's per year. The adventure membership came with 10. It's basically 10 years of getting a free week at these getaway cabins. In order to use them, so there's a $95 cleaning fee. So if I use this cabin, it's just straight up $95 for the cleaning fee. Like I said, retail, this is about $1,000 to rent this cabin for the week. So it's still a pretty good value at that $95. To be able to add family on, once again, there's differences between the levels, but as an adventure member, I can get up to 5 family cards at $150 per year. So I've done that. I've gotten my mother a family card. They've used it, well, this year now they're going to use it twice. They've actually rented a cabin on their own and paid like the discounted rate over what the retail was down at one of the Thousand Trails in Florida. And then we utilized this where I contacted reservations, told them what we're trying to do. We booked the cabin, booked our RV site, worked it all together, took care of the cleaning costs, the $95 all up front. It's all set up. A few other little details. You use the free week. It has to be Friday to Friday. They're not flexible. I don't know why. Just one of those little details. It has to be Friday to Friday. So just keep that in mind when you're planning this kind of stuff out. But this is just a nice little opportunity where we came closer to where my parents live in Florida. They still have to drive 600 miles to get to this park, but it's kind of a middle ground kind of place where we get to hang out for some time. And then once we're done hanging out here, then we're going to head over to Pigeon Forge and spend some time there before they head back to Florida and we head back to Texas. Let's check out more of the Thousand Trails Natchez Trace. We won't get to show you the insides of cabins every time, but definitely wanted to take advantage while we actually got one to check out. All right, now back to this lodge. Well, I would love to go inside of it, and I cannot. Doesn't mean that I can't walk around outside and show you some of the, there's like a deck or a gazebo, a bunch of Adirondack chairs, and just a beautiful view of the water. Let's go take a look. Multiple picnic tables. I mean, a lot. I think I see a total of 5 picnic tables right now. A bunch of Adirondack chairs. But look at the beautiful view of the water. And if you're curious as far as the timing, because you can see the beautiful fall colors going on around here, this is October 21st when I'm recording this. So great time to be here to see all these fall colors. And this gazebo looks like it was fairly recently replaced and has been decorated. Interesting. There was a big group that was here. I wonder if that was left over from what they were here for. We'll come on through here and look. So this lake runs all through it. Around the corner over there is the beach where we're parked with our RV. You can rent kayaks and canoes, or you can bring your own. And then you can go all throughout here. People love coming out here and fishing with their boats. We have got, there's another camping loop back there that's RA, which I think is resident annuals. There's tent camping right there, and then all the cabins back in there. And then that right there, straight across, is the 30 amp no full hookup loop, which we'll talk more about that in a little bit. And then further back that way is probably the biggest camping loop of all, called Phase 2. And that's where there's a lot of people. You can find some 50 amp full hookups, some 30 amp full hookups back in that area. But look at these colors. Are they not just gorgeous? I love that big stone fireplace. I would have loved to have seen inside this lodge. It's interesting that they named it a lodge, since other Thousand Trails we go to, the lodge is like a hangout place with a TV and library. You do have access to a barbecue. All right, back to the truck and on to the next area. There's a closer look at the tennis courts, which those are lit up, stay lit up through the night. You can kind of see the track right there. And then past the track is the dog park. This might be one of the biggest and best dog parks we've seen at 1,000 Trails. it is quite large. There's 2 benches inside of there. There's a big water bowl. You got to go just outside of the gate on the far side to be able to fill it with water. Picnic table just outside. They do provide dog poop bags. We were really impressed with this dog park, and thankfully, being right there at the beach, you're nice and close. There's cabins down in here. That's kind of like an island right there, and a bunch of cabins back over there in the trees. They said there's a lot of cabins at this place, but overall, this park is huge, so that doesn't surprise me. Let's go over and take a look at the beach area. So 6 camping spots up here, 50 amp full hookup. There is a bathhouse right here that's got 1 shower and 2 toilets. And I have been very pleased. I believe I got some footage here. Pretty much almost all the showers have brand new shower heads on them, but this has been well taken care of, well cleaned, great water pressure, great temperatures, very, very nice. And nice short distance between RV and the bathhouse. It's been wonderful. Let me kind of give you a show of what's happened with some of these sites. I don't know if they were just having power issues or what. But you've got like, this should be 2 more sites right there. And they've just bagged that one off. So 2, so 6, 7, 8. Number 9 would have been down there. And then there's actually one right next to us, which gave us a bigger spot, but they pretty much bagged that one off too. And they've just taken all the picnic tables and they've turned it into an area to hang out. So I have a feeling in the summertime, this place is probably super packed with people. And so this is probably a good gathering spot. If you are here and you want to park, there's a tiny little sign right there on that back of that baseball diamond where you can't really see a diamond anymore. It says beach parking. You just park in the grass like I do. So we've seen a lot of people come down here because our first week here, we were hitting 88 degrees. So this beach was very, very popular. There was people over here swimming, kids playing, building sandcastles. Very active. Kaylin thought it was hilarious. Wristband for the water park. What water park? So apparently in the summertime, they actually have big old inflatables out here that people are sliding on and jumping in the water and everything. The water levels actually look a little bit lower right now. Interesting. We haven't really had any rain since I've been here, but I would say it was definitely a lot higher when we first got here. The dam down there, I've walked across it and there's like a trail that goes all through in there, but it looks like they've now closed all the trails down because they are short-staffed. I really enjoy being able to sit out here and eat supper, watching as the golden hours, the sun's just that nice yellow color, seeing all the colors reflect into the water. It's a great view if you're lucky enough to get one of these spots. Excellent spot to be in. And here are the kayaks and canoes. I believe $30 allows you to rent them for the whole day. They've got everything you need up in the office and they'll come over here with you and on-chain them and get you set up out there. A little interesting thing I've noticed, every night there has been like 2 cars that come over here and they set up a fire and have a bonfire like every night. I don't know where exactly they're coming from. I guess they just really like to come out here to this spot and have a campfire. And I'm not sure, I think that pontoon boat belongs to the park. I've never seen it move, but the boat ramp is just down the way. And this place is really busy for fishing. People love to come put their boats in the water and spend all day out there fishing. And there is a fish cleaning station right there. There is a light under here. It was functional. Man, the spider webs, they go up quick. Yeah, that's your fish cleaning station, and then here's the boat ramp. It's in fairly good condition. As it being a no-wake lake, nobody's coming in here with real big boats. Everybody's just kind of going real slow, but there's plenty of water back that way into the hills that allows them to go back there and go fishing. You can see there's the barn, trees, there's picnic tables over there if you wanted to go have a picnic in those nice big tall trees. We have a dumpster down here. It's been easy access. They've always taken it before it ever got full. Never saw an issue. We were here almost 3 weeks. Some people have been making comments that they don't see as much of Tanya in the videos. I just wanted to kind of show y'all. I get caught up, get busy doing these videos because I got to get them out by a schedule. And Tanya has her own projects. Right now she's working on, are they ornaments? They're slices of log, right?
They're wood slices, but I think the person that commissioned it wants them to be ornaments. So
Okay.
she's going to adjust them and make them into ornaments.
But when they're done, it's setting it up to look like a beach with the waves crashing on the beach. So
They're not done.
Nope.
I need to put resin on and finish it. After doing tries.
Yep. Cool. Love you. I'm driving back towards the back now, and the first camping loop we come across is the RA camping loop. And I'm pretty sure that just means resident annuals. So that's just going to be spots in there for people that are paying to stay there for the whole year. There's no bathhouses in there whatsoever. I do believe they have sewer though. And we have some pretty drastic hills throughout here. This one isn't too bad. After the cabins though, there's a pretty steep hill. So this loop here is mostly cabins, but the tent camping area is all the way through there on the other end. And there's a bathhouse right there with a laundry room that's got 3 washers and 3 dryers. Let's check out that bathhouse and laundry room. So after the cabins coming up here, this hill, first day here, I tried taking the e-bike up this hill. This hill was way too steep. Let's take a look here. This is phase 1, and I just want to briefly talk about this, and for the most part, warn you from coming in here. See how narrow these roads are? There's a lot of tight roads through this area. There is 0 sewer hookups. There's only 30 amp. And I mean, some like this is a pull-through spot right here. This isn't too bad. But I would consider phase 1 your absolute last effort to find something. Because some of the roads through this section are tight. Some of the tree branches are too close. So I would really, if you're coming back to the back, I would go all through phase 2 looking for a spot first before I even consider coming into phase 1. I'm not going to go down there this way right now, but there's a lot of more of the resident annuals that are parked down there because they've got beautiful water sites. They're still 30 amp. There's still no sewer. They're just beautiful sites. So I get why somebody would want to buy those. It's basically their weekend cabin kind of thing. But it's tight. I mean, just going through there with the dually was very uncomfortable getting between some of the RVs and the trees. So just don't head down that way if you can avoid it. If you're here transient, you really don't need to go down there. So we've got another playground here, small playground with a pretty good sized swing set. There's a bathhouse and more laundry. Laundry room is almost the same. Got another picnic pavilion here. And as you're coming around to go out of phase 1, you see this RV over here on the right. That road, in my opinion, is very dangerous for you to take your RV on. I would not look forward to getting out of that corner over there with that RV because of the dirt road that they're going to have to take coming up through the trees to rejoin this road. So just be very cautious. If you wind up coming into phase 1 looking for a spot, please be very careful. And these roads are narrow. And once again, there's nothing that says that this is a one-way road. So if you encounter somebody that's not quite intelligent enough to say, hey, I'm on the wrong side of the road and you're pulling a rig, oof, And look at all these campsites over here on the right. They're too small, not very well maintained. I'd say if anything, there's a few spots over there on the left in the trees that are kind of good, kind of enough space. You'll see them early on when you come into phase 1. Otherwise, just go to phase 2 first if you don't find what you're looking for down at the beach. So this is the entrance to phase 2 right here, and right as you get here, there is access to trails right here. It's called the Backwoods Trail, but it is currently closed because they don't have anybody that's driving out there to make sure everybody's safe. It's not sealed up. You could pass through the green looking gate over there. It's not locked up or anything. Just know that because they're short-handed, they don't have people to come around and make sure everybody's okay. It's a 6-mile long trail. Over here on the right, we've got what's called the town hall. There's actually 3 big buildings. The first one is a huge hall where they could do receptions, bingo. It's a very big room with a lot of tables. It's been locked every time I've been back here. The middle one is the recreation office. That's where you've got a TV room with couches. There's a library. There's a game room where they've got foosball, ping pong, pool, lots of stuff to do in there. There's a chapel in the basement. I have never seen it unlocked. They are locking the recreation office at 4 p.m. on weekdays and 7 p.m. on the weekends. And then the last building is a movie theater. I asked if they ever use it, and they said every once in a while they will open it up and they will host people in there to watch a movie. I would have loved to see inside of there. I have a few safety concerns, which when I do a tour of the building, I will elaborate on those. All right, and here are the phase 2 RV spots. I've seen probably the most amount of families down here. There are a few 50 amp full hookups. There are more 30 amp full hookups. They've got dump stations. There's more resident annuals back here. It's a big area, bigger playground too. I know for a fact there's some 50 amp full hookups here on the right. There's the playground over on the left. Nice size playground. Another, so that's 2 gaga ball pits that they have at this park. Another covered picnic area. And then back here, deeper in, we've got some brand new roads where they have resurfaced them completely. But this is all they got to, is this area back here. I was a little shocked by that. And I talked to the office about it today and was told they were only given $200,000 for their roads and that this is all that would afford them. So personally, I felt like there was some of the main stretch that should have been redone, but what's done is done. Overall, roads are in better condition in phase 2. So being able to maneuver through here and find yourself a spot would be a lot safer than going into phase 1. You have a possibility of getting a 50 amp, a possibility of getting a sewer hookup. All these are reasons why I would come to phase 2 first. All the way back in here is the bathhouse. There is no laundry in phase 2. It kind of makes me laugh. This is the smallest bathhouse, the only bathhouse in phase 2, and no laundry, all for the biggest camping loop. Interesting choices being made around here. Plenty of dumpsters throughout this park. So once again, as you get closer to the beautiful water sites back over here, they are all resident annual sites. There's always plenty of these like small 30 amp and water spots here. I don't see anybody quarreling over those. But if you can see the color, the leaves, the water through there, I can definitely see the appeal of having your annual site out here. It's very nice. Just driving around, it is a random, Monday. There is a 30 amp site with sewer right there. You can see they spray paint red on the sewer caps. So there's even still something open. See, if you had turned into phase 1, you would have thought, I have to settle for what's here, and here in phase 2, I've already found a sewer site. Overall, this camping loop is really, really big. I'm not going to go and drive down each of the roads. It gets a little tighter when you get closer to the edge of the water. I think the stuff that's more to the center is where you're going to have your better chance of finding something if you're just staying here for a few weeks. We'll swing by the playground here on our way out. I'm pretty sure these ones here on the right are also sewer sites. Looks like some of them are also annuals. Well, they have a swing set here too. Excellent. Each camping loop does have a dump station. There's the dump station right there. It almost kind of looks like it was a campsite with a power post, but that is the dump station. Each camping loop has its own dedicated dump station. So if you get a spot that you don't have sewer, there's somewhere nearby. You don't have to go all the way to the front to dump. So while you're here, if you need groceries, Hohenwald, Tennessee is 14 miles away and has a pretty good sized Walmart with an excellent selection. Lawrenceburg is 20 miles away, also has a Walmart as well as a Kroger and a Save-A-Lot. If you need something like a Sam's Club, you're gonna have to go about 50 miles away down into Alabama to find a Sam's Club. All right, y'all, let's go and take a look at what they call the Town Hall and the Recreation Office. This is kind of fun to explore. I brought Kaylin over here and we were thinking, man, this could be a lot of fun for just a round of hide and go seek or some Nerf wars. And then sure enough, we saw some Nerf darts laying down on the ground. So I've never seen these doors unlocked since I've been here. I think it's probably open during the summertime. You kind of see just a bunch of tables, chairs, fireplace, stage, and I believe there's a kitchen just inside to the right. They've got a nice big deck over here with some lights. Now, I haven't been up here after dark. I'm not sure if these lights are functional. I see we've got some grills over here, but there's no propane hooked up to this one. Great big griddle as well. I don't know if this is something where they'd let you utilize it. Just needs some pretty good scrubbing, or if that's something that they only want to use for set events that they have. Just kind of a cool place to hang out. Looks like there's a great big giant fire pit over there. There's 3 large structures here. The one in the middle has the title Recreation Office over the top. That's for the game room, library, TV room, or lounge basically is. Really would love to see it open later than 4 o'clock. Not sure why we have to lock that up so early. And down over there, it says building 1, but when you get closer, that's the movie theater. But one of the things that I don't like safety-wise, there's a sign here that says storm shelter. Well, whatever that storm shelter is locked up tight. So that I have serious safety issues with that and one other item in this building. So it says winter hours. Something tells me that during the summer they probably can get some more staff. People, maybe younger people that aren't in school during the summer, that can help out. I get some serious vibe from like some of the churches that I used to go to when I was younger. Just the appearance, the build, the smell, everything feels like I'm going back to one of those churches. Just now noticed this board right here. Basketball and volleyball, racquetball courts are located in the building to the left when you are walking in. Storm shelter is also located there. In the second floor of that building is the movie theater. Really? Now I really wish we could get inside that building to check that out. So there's a lot of potential to this campground that's just all locked up basically. Here's the quiet lounge. I came through already and I just validated there's nobody in here. See, the other day when Kaylin and I came through, there was somebody in here using their tablet, doing whatever they were doing on their tablet. They do have a satellite TV back here. I thought it was interesting that electric guitar showed up. It looks like somebody's wand to wave people around for safety after dark. Interesting. Just a nice little place to chill. For some reason the lamps in the corners don't work. I guess this is the actual recreation office right here. Never seen anybody here. Straight back we've got the game room. Clean up after yourselves. House elves don't live here. Ping pong, small pool table, air hockey. Air hockey's kind of... We were able to have a game, but some things aren't quite right. Got pool cues, ping pong paddles and balls, foosball. If you feel like playing some poker, bring your own chairs and cards. And another TV over here, but I don't know if that TV would work. Looks like it's missing other components that it's needed to work. There's a couple of fairly large restrooms right here, men's and women's rooms. And then there's a library back here. Once again, it's kind of dark, kind of gloomy. Little extra lamps in here don't function. I'm sure if you wanted to drop off some books and borrow some books, that's what goes on here. Let's cover real quick though the other safety concern I have. So that over there, it says escape or exit. That is a successful good exit. This over here where it says exit, this is a death trap. Let's see. You come out here and you've got a passageway over to the town hall, but there's no way down from here. And this door is locked. So that's a trap. But then there's stairs down here. Okay, well, let's play around with that. First thought would be to go to the exit to the outside. Look at that. Deadbolted with a key. So I've got a fire extinguisher, I've got a fire alarm puller thingy, but if I'm down here, I'm trapped. Unless I'm somebody with a key, which I am not. So I take serious issue with this. This is very dangerous. What they obviously need to do, and they used to have it, is that push bar. I get it, you don't want people to come in, but for safety reasons, and any fire marshal will tell you this, you need to have a push bar so that anybody that's in here can escape. Yeah. One other thing that I noticed when coming over to these windows in the game room, there's like a courtyard down at the bottom, and tell me if you can pick up on what you see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a second swimming pool that's just been filled in with gravel. And what's interesting about that is people that stay here all the time that actually love this park have said the swimming pool up front was perfectly fine. They weren't really sure why they built a new one. Why'd they rip it out and build a new one? Most of those people that are complaining were saying, why didn't they instead do more fixing of the roads, which they really do need? I'm thinking, you want to spend money on a swimming pool, get your second swimming pool back to operational status. And get me a hot tub. That would make me happy. I'll take you through this exit over here. Just kind of adds to the whole why this place would be fun for like a big game of hide and go seek, some Nerf gun wars. See that bar? Yeah, that's what was missing from that other side. All right, so movie theaters through there. Obviously that's padlocked up. It's interesting to find out there's racquetball and basketball courts inside of this building. I thought this was just a really big movie theater, and I am just super intrigued. If you've seen our video recently where we were exploring abandoned bunkers, World War II bunkers, you'll know that I really like exploring stuff like this. So I like the mystery. That's true. I'm just trying to, when I make suggestions, safety is a big issue for me. Like you telling me that here's the storm shelter, and I'm telling you that door's locked. That's a big problem. That's a safety issue. Other issues where I'm complaining about this stuff, I'm just trying to fight for people's value in the Thousand Trails Park. So a lot of times my thought process is, where could they be making this stuff work properly so that you get your best value for your money? A lot of times I try to think about it in a way that, you know, we don't want them to just blow all their money. We know they're not going to. The company that owns Thousand Trails has already demonstrated that they're a little too fiscally responsible. Too fiscally responsible. A lot of times they're not taking care of stuff that they should be taking care of. But they do spend money and they do make improvements. So a lot of times I just like to put some thought processes into where maybe that money would be better utilized to make these parks more fun. But in the meantime, I like exploring stuff. So a place like this is a lot of fun to sit here and try to figure out like what's going on here. For instance, this is the Wilderness Chapel, Sunday at 9 a.m. I regret that I never got up here to check that out. But that's it that we can see for these three big buildings. So the center one's open until 4 p.m. and they do leave it open till 7, and then these other two are locked. And they have told me they occasionally open up the movie theater and still watch some movies as a group. But doesn't this all look like a lot of fun for some kids to run around? Now, I was hoping there was going to be free internet here. There is a paid service here at this park, which I paid $15 for the week. because I was trying to make sure that it worked for my parents, that they stayed at the Getaway Cabin. And that was the only way to get Wi-Fi working there, was to pay that money. I believe Tanya had something working here without paying, but just now when I came over here, it instantly was like, hey, do you have a login? I put in my email address and it went right to that paid service. So I think it's a slower speed. They're really good at throttling you. So for $15 for the week, you only get 5 megs down. I could probably work with that. Wouldn't be real great, but just a little disappointed that you can't come to these, like, sorry, bugs. You can't come to like this quiet lounge and get some free Wi-Fi that you could do some work. That is a little troubling compared with some of the other 1,000 trails where I've had to actually go sit in the lounge and work for a whole week. And typically they had Wi-Fi provided for free. Well, y'all, that's about it for the 1,000 Trails Natchez Trace. Just a quick note that if you like checking out historical stuff and getting some stamps in your national park passports, go check out the Meriwether Lewis Monument. It's the burial and death site of Meriwether Lewis. If you're wondering who that is, like originally I didn't know, that's Lewis of Lewis and Clark. He passed away not very far from here, and there's a whole museum. It's not big, it's small, but it is pretty cool to check out and learn some of the history about what happened to him. It's sad. It's very sad to see how politics can ruin someone's life. I encourage you to get over there and check that out. We took the family over there and learned a little bit about that. This says unknown. Francis Flanagan, William Curry, Mary Moline. Oh, there's a bunch. N. Tate, T. Tate, William Tate. Said this was the Pioneer Cemetery where Meriwether Lewis is buried. Interesting that there's no years on them. This is the actual Natchez Trace Trail. We've been driving on the road, the Parkway, the Natchez Trace Parkway.
We'll just pick it up and drop it.
The kind of the whole history of what happened to Meriwether Lewis is over here, as well as talking about his final journey. It's kind of a sad political story, actually.
Why he got killed?
Well, yeah. Basically, when one president stepped down and was voted out and another president stepped in, that president started denying payments on a bunch of stuff. And Lewis started paying his own money to pay debts for the expedition. And the money didn't get approved and started being dealt out until several years after Meriwether died. This park, I would stay here again. I don't know if I would be so lucky to get one of these nice 50-amp full hookup spots. But as a whole, I like this park, and I think it's a great spot to be in October to watch the leaves change color. It's very beautiful here. If you're passing through the area, I think it works well. And even if you're just stopping, stay somewhere for 3 weeks at a time, like what we're basically doing, I think it works pretty well. We enjoyed it here. I would do it again. That's all I've got for this park. Thanks again for watching. Remember that life happens. Even getting a 30-amp with no sewer hookup, sometimes that happens. But don't let that stop you from getting out here. Stay fresh, cheese bags.